Lesbian Detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detective. Lesbian Detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready to go. Pay attention to the message. I present to you the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detective. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And we are here to talk about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. This is a brand new week and a brand new case. We have some exciting news. Starting next month, the month of May, the month that I was born, we will start going live on Fridays after the case dropped to hear you guys' theories, to talk about the episode. Tell me what you think of the episode and how you feel. We would love to hear your thoughts. We don't care if you disagree with us. We would love to hear it anyway. And also, we could talk about our True Crime 1 Minute episodes too. We would love to talk to you guys. So we will start going live next month. We will go live on YouTube or TikTok. We're trying to see which one be easier, but sometimes you can go live on both at the same exact time.
We're excited to meet you guys. We want to know your theories, like my wife said. At the end of the day, the goal is to get this case solved. So if anybody has any information or knows anybody that can help with the case, all hands on deck.
Oh, I also have to say another case that I did on True Crime 1 Minute was actually solved this past week. I did an update. It's on Lori Page. She was missing for a couple of years. Found out the Georgia police did not stop searching for her, and they found her deceased body, and the prime suspect is her father. I will let you know how the case is going, but just check out our TikTok. I'll keep you updated there. But it's crazy, it's doing true crime and seeing cases get solved. You like, what? Like some of my followers on TikTok, they'll like come in and like slide in my DMs and say, hey, this case been solved. I'm like, what? I didn't even know.
We also found out that the case that we did last week, the suspect, Sherry, shares the same Facebook group that my wife is in.
Yeah.
Somebody actually tagged her on that post and she untagged herself. So that was crazy. One of the people in our groups is someone who we thought could be a suspect.
Yeah, I'm in a true crime podcast group and I post an episode. Someone like, hey, she's in this group. I'm like, wait a minute. We are too close to her. We all stay in Dallas. I don't want nothing. I don't want no problems. Well, let's get into this episode. And this one, too, is in Texas.
Everything is bigger in Texas, including murders.
I hope not, because we're in Texas. But let's start. Today's case is about two bright lights in a quiet Texas town. Best friends on the edge of everything. Graduation was weeks away. The world was wide open. One dreamed of moving to Florida, saving every paycheck to make it happen. The other had just taken her SAT, balancing work, school, and family with grace beyond her years. They were thoughtful, kind, and responsible, beloved daughters, sisters, and friends. That night, in March of 1988, wasn't supposed to be important. Just two girls cruising in a classic green and gold Mustang, enjoying the tail end of a spring break. There were plans for a sleepover, late night snacks, and talk about their future. It was a kind of night that should have ended in laughter and whispered secrets before sunrise. But by morning, everything had changed. The girls were gone. No calls, no notes, no sign of a struggle, just absent. A car later found abandoned, sat silent in a strip mall parking lot, as if frozen in time. It held no clues, only questions. Whispers spread around a violent young man connected to one of the girls. He was controlling, angered, and perhaps too quiet in the aftermath. He claimed his innocence, passed a lie detector, but years later, in a chilling twist, he reportedly confessed to the murders, then quickly recanted. He moved out of state, changed his name, and tried to disappear himself. Still, no connection to the original mystery could be proven. The psychic vision of a lake, a blond man with glasses, and a shallow grave yield no answer. An amateur investigator book rekindled interest. But again, the trail went cold. Time passed, family age, grief turned to silence, but the puzzle remained unsolved. Its missing piece tucked away in memories, in guilt, or in secrets never spoke out loud. What happened after midnight in that quiet town still lingers like a ghost. Two girls vanished. One car was found, and somewhere perhaps just beyond the reach of a memory or justice, the truth waits in the dark. This is the case of Susan Renee Smalley and Stacey Elizabeth Madison. Carrollton, Texas, in the spring of 1988, was a place where suburban safety and youthful dreams coexist in a bright and warm sprawl of a tiny lawn and needed parked car. The community had its rituals: early morning school buses, weekend football games, and the neighbors waving from across the driveway. For two local girls, Susan Renee Smalley and Stacey Elizabeth Madison, it was home, a familiar stage for the final weeks of their youth. They were in the cups of graduating, standing at the edge of adulthood with ambition in their hearts and future within reach. Susan was born on September the 19th, 1969, was 18 years old and full of quiet and confidence. She was the younger of two children, with an older brother, Rich, who remembered her as determined, spirit, and never one to shy away from speaking her mind. Her green eyes sparkled with mischief, and her laughter was a signature sound in her home. She had been saving money from her job as a hostess at Steak and Ale restaurant in town. A tiny sum, over $600, sat untouched in her bank account. She planned to buy a car. Then, Florida. That was the dream. Freedom, sunshine, and escape. Stacy was born on June 17, 1970, was 17 years old, warm-hearted and thoughtful, and loved by many. The older of two sisters, she was the apple of her mother Ida's eye, and a hero to her 6-year-old sibling Stephanie. Stacy was the kind of teenager who remembered birthdays, left notes for friends, and helped her mom around the house without being asked. She worked at a local office, managed her studies well, and just taken the SAT exam on the morning before she disappeared. The future stretched wide and promising before her. Saturday, March 19, 1988, began like any other. The girls were savoring the final days of spring break. That day, Ida gave Stacy a perm. It was one of those mother-daughter bonding rituals, filled with gossiping and laughter in the bathroom mirror. But something felt off. Stacy hesitated about going out that night. Ida told her she didn't have to, but Stacy went anyway, perhaps out of obligation or maybe just to not disappoint Susan. It was a choice that would echo painfully in the years to come. The girls made plans for a simple evening, visit some friends, then head back to Susan's house for a sleepover. Nothing wow, just teenage fun. At midnight, Susan was confirmed to be at home. She made a phone call from there to a friend. By all accounts, everything was going according to plans. Then they got into Stacy's 1967 green and gold Mustang convertible. coloring proudly matching their high school colors, where they were seniors at, and disappeared into the night. By sunrise, the routine of Carrollton began to unravel. Susan's mother found her daughter bed still made. Stacy had never arrived. Panic crept in quickly. Calls were made, police were contacted. Within hours, the girls were officially missing. Sightings began to trickle in. Around 2 a.m. on March the 20th, two young women matching their description attempt to buy beer at the local 7-Eleven, but were refused not long after. Susan was seen at her workplace, the Steak and Ale, briefly chatting with a friend for about 5 minutes. Stacy remained in the car. That was the last confirmed sighting of each girl. Their family knew something was wrong. They're not the type of girls just run off. They were grounded, responsible, and deeply tied to their family. They had plans. They had no reason to disappear. Days later, Stacy Mustang was found abandoned in a strip mall parking lot in Dallas on Forest Lane and Webb Chapel Road. The car was locked. Inside, everything looked eerie, undisturbed. A portable stereo lay on the back seat, untouched. There was no blood found, no sign of a struggle, no fingerprints out of place. It was as though they had simply stepped away and never returned.
Attention soon turned to Kevin Elrod, Stacy's boyfriend. He was known to be volatile. Stacy had told her mother she wanted to end the relationship, but was afraid of his reaction. One day she vanished. She had warned Ida, "If Kevin calls, tell him I'm out with Susan." He did call. Ida followed her daughter's instructions. What happens next remains murky. Kevin was questioned by police. He passed a polygraph test. But years later, he allegedly told a new girlfriend he had killed both girls and buried them in a cemetery near Carrollton. The woman went to the police. A full search was conducted. Nothing was found. Kevin later recanted his confession, saying he was just trying to scare the woman. Again, he passed a polygraph. He eventually moved out of the state and changed his name. With leads running cold, police turned to unconventional methods. A psychic told investigators the girls had been killed by a white male with blonde hair and glasses, aged 28 to 34, and dumped near Grapevine Lake. A team searched the area, but they found nothing. In 2009, a local alumnus, Sean Sutherland, took it upon himself to investigate the case. He was compelled, haunted even, by the girl's story. He wrote a book, The Night Wound's Time, and compiled years of interviews and evidence. Tips came in, hope surged. Still, no definite answers emerged. For those left behind, the silence had been excruciating. Susan's mother stopped speaking of her daughter entirely, as if saying her name out loud would shatter what little remained. Rich, her brother, admits that the years have eroded hope. Stacy's mother, Ida, remains active, vocal, and desperate for closure. Her plea is simple. If you know anything at all, please call the police. It's time. Stephanie, who grew up in the shadow of her sister's disappearance, links the case to a puzzle. Everyone has a piece, but if one person holds onto theirs, the puzzle never gets finished. The case didn't die all at once. It faded, slowly, painfully, slipping into the silence, the way a candle burns down to its last flicker. Over the years, the investigation would grow cold, only to stir again when a new detective took interest or a long-buried tip resurfaced. Each reopening felt like a breath held, a fragile hope reignited. In 2010, more than 2 decades after Susan and Stacey vanished, the Carrollton Police Department dusted off the old case files. New eyes pored over yellowing pages. Witnesses from that night were tracked down and interviewed again, their memories now clouded with time. Old evidence was pulled from storage, re examined under new forensic methods that didn't exist back in 1988. The search, once again, was on. Then, in 2018, investigators took another step. They reinvented Stacy's ex boyfriend, the one who had always lingered on the edge of suspicion. After all these years, he was still considered a person of interest. His name, never publicly confirmed, hung like a shadow over the case, uncharged, untouched, but never fully cleared. Despite these efforts, the truth remained just out of reach, like a voice behind a closed door that no one could quite open. Their case remains unsolved, frozen in time, a haunting echo that clings to Carrollton like morning mist. Every few years, interest stirs again. A new lead, a whispered name, a false confession, but the truth remains elusive. Somewhere, someone knows what happened that night. Until they speak, Susan and Stacey remain not only missing, but silenced. And the mystery of what happened in those lost hours after midnight remains one of the most chilling and heartbreaking in Texas history. Before we end this case, let's sit back and remember these young women. They were more than just names on a missing poster. Susan Smalley and Stacey Madison were young women full of life, love, and hope. Best friends on the cusp of everything. Susan, with her sharp wit and vibrant green eyes, was bold, determined, and full of dreams, too big for her small Texas town. She was saving up for a car, ready to chase the Florida sunshine and her own version of freedom. Her laughter lit up rooms. Her stubborn spirit made it unforgettable. Stacy, gentle and wise beyond her 17 years, carried a quiet kindness in everything she did. She cared for those around her effortlessly, writing notes to friends, helping her mom, looking out for her little sister. With blonde hair, a soft smile, and big plans for college, she was the kind of person who would make you feel seen. On a spring night in 1988, they disappeared. Two bright stars swallowed by darkness. Their last known hours were unremarkable. Just another teenage Saturday spent driving into a school-colored Mustang and sharing the final moments of youth. But somewhere in the stillness of early morning, something terrible happened. Decades have passed, the car was found, suspicions were raised, confessions were whispered and recanted, but the truth, the real truth, never surfaced. And so the story ends not with answers, but with echoes. The echo of Susan's laughter, the echo of Stacy's gentle voice, the echo of the lives they should have lived. In Carrollton, Texas, someone still remembers, some still search, and someone still knows. Until the silence breaks, Susan and Stacey remain suspended in that fragile space between memory and mystery. Two girls who were loved, who mattered, and who deserved to come home. This is the case of Susan Smalley and Stacey Madison. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Researching through your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
So I feel like everybody's gonna get me, and I feel like you're gonna be like, I do not agree with you, but I don't think it's a boyfriend. I don't. And let me explain why before you're like, what? I don't think it's him because I feel like he called and found out she was Susan. And I feel like you're like, F it. I don't think he really met up with her that night. I feel like something happened in that parking lot. When Susan went inside and Stacey stayed in the car, I feel like something happened in that moment. I feel like while Susan was in the restaurant, somebody probably came beside Stacey and was like, try to steal the car or try to hurt her and was like waiting on Susan to get back in the car and kidnap both girls. I feel like that might have happened. I don't know. It just seemed like for some reason I'm just getting a feeling. I'm not a psychic or anything, guys. Don't come at me. But I just feel like something just happened in that parking lot. That parking lot holds a lot of secrets. I don't know. I just get that feeling that something happened in that moment. It could have been a boyfriend, but for some reason I don't see it was him. And it does come out and it's not him. I feel so sorry for him because what he went through. Because he went through a lot and people blaming him in that town, probably like looking at him weird and probably was like, he did it. And he had to like move away and change his name. I don't know. Guys, if you ever come back that I'm wrong. Just come at me. But I don't know. I already know my wife gonna be like, I don't agree with you. Go ahead, say it.
I don't agree with you.
What'd I say?
I feel like it was the boyfriend. Why would you play around and say that you unalive these women as a joke? That's not a joke. Unless you take some sort of satisfaction from doing/saying and taking credit for that, like, it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it was him. And Stacey had already told her mom, hey, if he calls, tell him that I'm out with Susan. There was already some friction there. And basically that was her way of trying to escape him, but she didn't know how to do it. It's almost like their whole lives were planned. Stacey had plans to move to college, to buy a car. It's almost like she wanted to get away. She already had a hostile boyfriend, but it's like she had to get all her ducks in a row. And I feel like he knew that was coming. And I feel like she was just kind of trying to delay the time, trying to see if she could stretch it out to buy herself some time. But he didn't like that, obviously. And I mean, if he's already pretty volatile and he knows that she's trying to distance herself, like, why not? A lot of crazy people are like, well, if I can't have them, then no one can. It's a power move. It's power. It's control. Manipulation. People shouldn't have power over other people because everybody's their own person. But I feel like someone who's not sane would find that to be a reason to unalive somebody else. Breakups are hard. I mean, it literally feels like you're dying. But once you get over it, you're like, okay, it's a new chapter. It's a new adventure. You learn about yourself. You learn about a new person. But some people don't think like that.
Still don't believe it's a boyfriend. I don't know. Guys, picture it with me. You know I like to picture things. I like to look at things clearly. Susan is in there talking to her friends, all that stuff. Stacey is just sitting in the car, chilling, probably listening to music with the window down, not a care in the world. A man is standing on the side. He's watching. He just saw Susan go in. He like, 2 for 1. Gonna say it like that. He walk over to Stacey. He threatened her with a knife or a gun. And he be like, hey, like, let me in. I'm gonna be in the back. Stacey probably sitting there scared out of her mind, like, okay, I should drive off, like, save myself. I don't want Susan to get hurt. But he want both girls. Or it could be multiple guys. We never know. And then Susan come in. She's in the car. She's laughing, probably like telling, like, let me tell you what my friend just said. Gossiping. They're teenage girls. She get in the car. The guy right behind them. And he says something to her. And they all drive away.
I'm having trouble following your theory because it's not supported by anything. You get what I'm saying?
What the boyfriend support about?
Why would he play around and say that he unalived them?
He was trying to scare his other girlfriend. And I know,
exactly.
Listen, I know a lot of guys have did that. I know it. For some reason, I know people like, I don't believe in lie detector. He passed twice, like nothing. What was the questions? Well, for some reason, I can't see it. I just can't picture it. He's 17. He got 2 bodies to dispose. No fingerprints, nothing. That sounds like somebody who did this before. Somebody who hurt some women before. Somebody who was smart enough. I don't feel like a 17-year-old or 18. I really don't know how old he is. I didn't look it up. Sorry, guys. But I don't feel like somebody like that will have that type of knowledge. He didn't have it. He drove the car. He knew to abandon it. He had no fingerprints. Everything was off of it. I just can't see it. I feel like a criminal that has been in the field before knows what he doing. That little boy didn't know what he doing. That would have easy found them bodies. I'm just going to be honest. That would easy if he did it.
But he's still sick. Why would you play around like that? It's like you still are taunting your new girlfriend and you think that's funny. There's nothing funny about that. Why are you trying to take credit for somebody's unaliving unless you did it?
I mean, we will never, not never know, because I feel like any case is solvable. But to me, he probably said that to his new girlfriend just to scare her. As I said, like, if she got a line, like, I already did this once, I got away with it. That's probably what he was saying. But let's be honest. What if he never said it to the girlfriend? Let's play devil advocates. What if he never said that line to the girlfriend? What if she just made it up to be important of the case? Because he would say like, yeah, I killed them, I buried them there, I did this. She didn't say all that. She went to the police and said, yes, he told me. I feel like they had so much at him anyway. Whatever she said or anybody said, they was gonna look at him. Do I think he is a good person? Probably not. I feel like he do have some issues that he probably needs to go check up on. But I don't believe in this moment he killed them.
I do.
We can agree to disagree, but let's talk about another fact that we hear about the case, the psychic. I mean, some people believe in psychics, some don't. I'm in between.
I think the psychic is just like the polygraph test.
Full of bull crap.
Facts are facts. Evidence is evidence. If you don't have it, unfortunately, you don't get justice. But evidence can also be manipulated. So
when I first heard this case, I always wondered, like, man, what if the girls wasn't the victim that went for the car? But I'm like, no, the car was found safely. You know, the car was like undamaged, anything, because the type of car, I'm not really a car person, but just hearing how her car was decked out, like, come on now.
you would think that that would be the target instead of the girls.
Right, because I'm just looking to the car, a gold and green car, a Mustang.
But to me, this almost seemed personal. To me. I know you said you just think it's some random stranger that's done this before. It's kidnapping women.
I wonder if they had somebody else with them. I know if it's them hanging out, but they want to get some beers. It seemed like a party was about to happen.
Have they tried to look at the car?
Yes. Well, I don't know now recently, but I know they said had no DNA. They had no fingerprints. They had nothing. But back in the 80s, really, didn't have any fingerprints? Because, I mean, the 80s didn't have the technology that we have, because now they have touch DNA. Like, you could barely touch anything and the DNA would come out. Like, that's just wow.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just thinking about the case and I'm like, something, or, I mean, you can think about it. It's always, at one part I always stop at, they said that the boyfriend did call Stacy. I wonder, did she tell him like what the plans was, or they're like, oh, I'm just staying in? Because if she was trying to break up with him or anything like that, do you think she would like told him like, we're finna go out and do this?
No.
Yeah, I feel like she probably said like, yeah, I'm staying at home with, like I'm at Susan's house. We're just staying inside, you know, nothing big. But the beer has always like made me like, because I wonder, like, would they just gonna go drink by themselves, like in a location or somewhere, you know? Like, what if they did leave the parking lot? Like, my theory went away. But, like, what if they did leave their parking lot, go to the woods and start drinking and something? I don't know. It's just a beer situation. Because they went to the place to go get a beer, but they couldn't, 7-Eleven. And then they went to the restaurant.
But it could have also been a way of them like having their last little get together. Like, oh my God, you know, you're going to Florida, you're going to college. Like, let's just make these last moments meaningful. Let's celebrate. Let's drink together. I mean, they're 18, you know, they're just trying to experience things together before they separate. It doesn't necessarily mean they were throwing a party with all these random strangers. It's almost like they wanted some time to bond within themselves, but unfortunately they were a target. We don't know who did it. I suspect it's the boyfriend because that's the only suspect I know that has some type of motive. But for me to say like, oh, just a random stranger, I would have to do more research. How many women have gone missing around that same time, around Carrollton, all this other stuff? Now with the boyfriend, was he connected to anyone? How did he read a lot of crime books, or did he know like a police officer or a detective? Did he have the knowledge to know how to hide evidence if he was ever investigated? Like, he passed a polygraph test. He could have been telling the truth, or he could have been really good at hiding the truth. So,
You're right. You're right. I mean, we still don't agree on who did it. Who did. I feel like a stranger. Honestly, I said stranger because you never can just like say a stranger didn't do it. Because sometimes it could be a stranger that did hurt the person. We never know. We don't know why people hurt other people, but there's a possibility. We never know, but we will one day because this case is solvable, and it's in our home state of Texas. Well, not my home state, I'm in Tennessee. Well, guys, tell me who you think is right. I'm going to do a poll. Do you think Elizabeth right or I'm right? Please pick carefully. Thank you guys for listening to another episode. And don't forget, we're about to start going live in just a couple of weeks to hear you guys' theories and what do you think about the episode. I cannot wait to find out how you guys feel. Because sometimes you guys do come for me like in the comments, like DM me like, hey, this is what I think. And sometimes I do sit back like, I can see it. I feel like I say it a lot when people tell me that. I'm like, yeah, I can see that. We're on all social medias until TikTok get banned. We never know again because it got banned like 3 times in my in my camp system. We are on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We have a Facebook group. Please check us out. Please email me your case suggestions. Let me know what you think about the episode. I cannot wait to find out your thoughts and likes. This is Lesbian Detective. I'm Sierra.
and I'm Elizabeth.
Everybody's suspect.
Until proven innocent.
Bye.
Lesbian Detective. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it. They say he vanished without a trace. Could it be a psychotic break? Or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now, Lesbian Detective, Lesbian Detective. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.